Hey gang, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm both excited and just a little bit nervous as we look at Kingdom Cyclonus. That's right, Transformers Kingdom Cyclonus. I've heard a lot of hype about this guy, a whole bunch of big talk. And I've had it happen before and had my hopes dashed. So the question is the hype real? Well, we're about to find out when we dive into everything to do with Kingdom Cyclonus in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light 'em up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton. Let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I am either a mod for or an admin for. All those links are in the description. Check me out all across social media. All those links also in the description. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we offer to you through Teespring. Or, of course, hit the join button right here on the YouTubes and become a channel member. And if you yourself have any interest in Kingdom Cyclonus or any of the Kingdom line or any Transformers from the main line, why not check out the Big Bad Toy Store? Link in the description for that as well. And that brings us to Cyclonus, and I've been hearing now for weeks, if not a couple of months, all the hype. This guy was a pre-order that finally came in, and I was really happy it came in, but at the same time, I've been nervous because there are times in the past when I've had, people say like, this is amazing, this is fantastic, and it's okay. By the way, if there was just a shake, that's because I accidentally hit one of the legs of the tripod. I apologize. And if there wasn't a shake, then disregard what I just said. Nevertheless, we got this guy in hand. Is he as good as the hype train says? Well, we're about to find out when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And boy, oh boy, while the kingdom has been exceedingly slow to get here, I am very glad that one of my pre-orders actually came in, and it is, of course, Cyclonus. And I've heard nothing but stellar things about this guy. Everybody raves and roars over him. As I said, we're gonna see if he lives up to the hype, because a lot of times, man, people have hyped me up, and then I live to be disappointed. We'll see how this guy stacks up, but before we can get to him, we have to look at the packaging first. And the packaging here is, like, it's Kingdom packaging. It's interesting. I am all for the cardboard insert rather than the plastic insert, the clamshell thing, because trying to get stuff out of that drives me nuts. I wish we had the ties. I used to like them better than the plastic things, but whatever. We have a nice picture of Cyclonus here, and of course up here we have him in his little mode, his plane mode. I don't like that we have such a small window here. I'd like to be able to see more than just the chest and head. I mean, if something's wrong, you're not going to be able to see it. Nice Kingdom artwork over here. And, of course, the images of the product on the back. Plus, he comes with big, bold, beefy instructions, baby. I kind of like the green highlight, to be honest with you. I guess that's leading us into Beast Wars. And we have the ever-popular collector card. This is, once again, Optimus Prime. I got Optimus Prime when I got Warpath. I have a funny feeling that these are packed just based on the luck of whatever delivery comes to your region and gets distributed in stores. Mine was obviously from a run that had the Optimus in it, both of mine. Even though they came from two different stores at two different times, they obviously came from the same run. I don't need two Optimuses. When you pull this down, it's Dead Optimus. That's the other image that's behind there. I don't know. If anybody needs an Optimus card, hit me up. You can have it, man. Oh, we also have this beautifully molded blaster. It is painted silver, like a matte silver. It's such a weird paint, but looks nice. It is molded in lavender, as you can see by the handle, and all of this is paint. It's cool, I dig it. And so here we have Cyclonus in all of his glory. Now apparently he's based on like a specific episode, and we know that in season 3, the animation models and the coloration and whatnot were all over the map. I personally look at this Cyclonus and I think his lavender purple should be a darker purple, and his dark purple is pretty much right. Yeah, I don't know. Like, he should be a bit darker to me. But now, that being said, oh, and there should also be some black, like, right there where the hole is on his forearm. There should be some, like, black there. Outside of that, I think everything's pretty much right. Oh, and the brim, kind of around his face, that should have the dark purple, like, up here on the ear pieces or on the wing pieces or down on his toes. That should have, like, a dark purple outline as well. That being said, there are animation episodes, there are times when he is more lavender, and I feel like this is based on his specific look, either in Carnage in C minor or the one where he sends Galvatron for psychiatric help. Webworld, I think, maybe it's Webworld. I can't speak for sure to that, but I feel like that's what I have heard many people say that this is a reference to. His chin also arguably should have a little bit of extra color on it that I don't think is there. So, and in plain mode, again, most of it is right. Sometimes the chin, by the way, has the color on it. Sometimes it doesn't. So, I'm not going to mark it too hard there. Nevertheless, if you look at this guy compared to other Cyclonuses, or Cyclonus, then this guy obviously wins. It's not absolutely perfect, but it's about as close, man, as I think you're gonna get. I'm gonna score his paint apps at a solid 9.5, 9.75, 9.75, almost perfect. Speaking of those other Cyclonuses, for example, here they all are together. Now, the original classics, I love that, honestly. I think that the original classics, which I looked at back in, oh, what episode was that? The original classics was episode 12, a long time ago. I said that the paint apps on him were a 7. But it depends on the mold. This particular version of the mold, they're about a 7, but there are other versions of that classics mold that are definitely a 10. The articulation on the classics, I said, was an 8. It's pretty great, even by today's standards. It's too bad his arm can't go across his body, but otherwise, it's a pretty versatile, terrific mold. And I said that the classics had a transformation of 9. It's fun, it's interesting. A lot of things tab together. You incorporate the robot. I love it. Then in episode 33, so both of these, it's been a long time, man, since we had a Cyclonus, actually. In episode 33, I looked at the Combiner Wars, which is stylized. I gave him a paint apps of 9 because he was purple. I think the head sculpt is beautiful, even though some of the silhouette is off. That should probably be lower. I think I was being kind because he was such a glorious purple. The articulation I said on the Combiner Wars one was a 9, and it is. It's excellent articulation on that one. You can score some excellent poses. And I said that the transformation on the Combiner Wars was an 8. So far, across the board, the one for capturing the look of the character most successfully definitely goes to Kingdom at a 9.75. Just about perfect. Great start. I will also note that the Classics was 84 grams. The Combiner Wars is 164 grams of plastic. And the Kingdom clocks in at 147 grams of plastic. So it is less mass than a traditional Combiner Wars Voyager, but he does have more paint, and somehow, some way, because of the way the engineering was done, he actually ends up standing, or having the capability, I should say, to stand taller than the previous Combiner Wars. And when I got the previous Combiner Wars, I said then that the whole reason I got him was to have a Cyclonus that more closely matches the scale of Leader Class Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. And he did that. The Kingdom one scales with that Ultra Magnus even better because he can stand a little bit taller if you fully extend the knee. 9.75, excellent start. What about the articulation? Excellent question. Now remember, we just said that the articulation for the Classics universe was an 8, and we said the articulation for the Combiner Wars was a 9. This guy has a head that can go left, right, look up, down. He has arms that can go all the way around. Some people complain about the wing being on his arm, but it's supposed to be, so it makes sense. The arm can go all the way out, and we have a molded-in armpit, which I love. We have an elbow to 90 degrees. We have a bicep swivel. That's really nice. We have wrist rotation. Beautiful. We have a waist on the guy. Wonderful. By the way, his blaster is plugged in on his back. You can plug it in under his arm. You can plug it in his hand, on his shoulder, on his leg, or there are 2 ports on either foot. Okay, getting back to the articulation. The leg can go all the way out to the side. It can go all the way back and all the way forward. We have a thigh swivel. We have a knee. Now, I'm going to discuss the knee here a little bit. So, if you extend the legs fully, as I believe the instructions tell you to, you do get a really nice deep knee, over 90 degrees, but you also have this huge unsightly gap. Some people opt to leave the knee well down. He is definitely shorter this way, as you can see, but when you bend the knee, while you don't get as much, you also don't get like breakage in the sculpt. Or you could bend it to 90 degrees and get a slight break in the sculpt. A lot of people leave it somewhere in between both. Starscream Wife likes it down all the way. I personally, as weird as it looks, because I want him to have a big, tall stature, I want it up all the way. Now, I've heard many people say that that's it for the articulation. Shout out to Mike, by the way, one of our supporters here on the channel. I believe he told me that it's too bad that Cyclonus doesn't have ankle tilt. Cyclonus does have ankle tilt. If you look at the foot, you can see the hinge right there. He does have it. It's not huge, but he has it. Why is it not huge? Because of the molding on the side. So he does have ankle tilt. Honestly, the only possible thing that you could want Cyclonus to have that he doesn't have is maybe the ability to like open and close his fingers like the Earthrise Optimus Prime. That's it. I'm going to say, taking that nitpick out of it, I'm going to say the articulation's a 10. You can do everything with the guy and he stands nice and solid and he looks cool. I'm saying 10, honestly. So far, for looks of the character, he beats the other 2. For articulation, he beats the other 2. And I think the other 2 are great. By the way, since I'm the dude who, as everybody knows, only has 1 representation of Cyclonus in his collection, what's going to happen to the other 2? Psh, easy. They're going to become and his armada. Cyclonus finally gets his armada, man. Okay, the transformation for this guy is bonkers. It's brilliant, but it's bonkers, and I'm going to tell you now, the transformation for the other 2, we had and I'm just looking at my notes here now, we had an 8 or a 9, we had a 9 for the Classics universe, because I think that's a great transformation, and we had an 8 for the Combiner Wars, because we do end up kind of having everything crammed under the jet. This is a 27. This is a fantastic, brilliantly engineered, involved, interesting transformation, but it all makes sense. That's what gets me. Everything here makes sense. It's a lot to it, but it makes sense and it's wild. And as I was doing the transformation the first time, I said, this is crazy. This is not, and like I had that sort of excited reaction to it. To me, that's the hallmark of absolute success. So, how do we do this transformation? We're going to begin by opening the arm, rotating this around, and bring it back in. I suppose if you want to do that, you could put a blast effect or something maybe in there. Again, we come over on this side, and really the way I open it is I put my thumb on the wing, and then I put my finger under the fist, and I just open it out that way. And I rotate this around, and I put it in. I bring down that wing piece, I bring down that wing piece, and then these are on hinges, and they can come out to the side and straighten out. And we can straighten up the arm and turn it. And then we have a rectangular slot here, a little rectangular tab on the arm here. So we bring this all the way out, which is very similar. Moving the wing out here, very similar to the classics. And then we put that in the arm. Make sure I have that put in the arm. There we go. And we do the same on the other side where we rotate this up. We bring this whole piece out and we put that into the arm. Beautiful. Now we're going to deal with the body next. A lot of people would do the legs next. I'm going to do the body next. and it's wild. Again, similar to the classics in that the whole body like opens up and decompresses, uncompacts, whatever you want to call it. But the arms are basically done now. Okay, so I just wanted to readjust things ever so slightly. We come here and we pick off the shoulders from the chest. And we're going to pick them like way up over for now. Then we come and we pick off the front of the chest of Cyclonus. Then we pick off the back of the chest of Cyclonus, and then we rotate this whole thing around. Oh, maybe I gotta do it this way. Let me get this out. There. There we go. We rotate that around. Now his head is down inside here. Then we open up the nose cone and we flip out. I mean, it's like nesting dolls. We flip out that piece of the nose cone, and then we open up this piece of the nose cone as well, and up right here is like his, I need something, the one thing I wish was done better, the one thing with the transformation that I wish was done better is how you have to get out this little like needly piece in the nose. I find I need something to get, I'm gonna have to get that out. Give me a moment. There we go. I have yet to figure out a convenient way to get like this needly nose part out, but that's such a minor gripe. So again, we straighten this up, we close up the body here, we close up the body here, then with these arms up out of the way, we rotate this whole section. Let me get that one up all the way. We rotate this whole section around, man. Like, come on, man. That's wild. The whole body unfurls, and then you fold this around. We come here to the legs and feet section, and there's a section here that opens up. I just have to remember how it's done to deal with this foot. Yeah, there we go. So you open out the back of the leg, you flip the foot in, you bring the back of the leg down. You open out the back of the leg, open it all the way out, flip the foot in, bring this down. Then you're going to collapse the leg, and really all you're doing is collapsing the whole thing in, and you're doing the same over here. You're collapsing the whole thing in. Some people have been concerned that over time those sliders might get weak. I hear you. It could. I hope that doesn't happen. And then we make sure that we have that pegged in up top. The arms here will rotate down this way, will rotate down this way. These hinges, they fold all the way in, they fold all the way in. And then using this little rectangular tab, using the other rectangular slot that's on the forearm, you tab that arm in, you tab that arm in, and boom, in the end here you have Cyclonus. Does he have landing gear? Sure does. He has a landing gear up front that I feel like is usually fairly easy to get out, but of course it doesn't want to do it now. Maybe I'm trying to pick it. I was trying to pick it up the wrong way. That's why. We have a front landing gear, and then we have the two in his legs. One of these. One of these tends to come out a lot easier than the other, or did. Again, I was pulling it out the wrong way. Oh no, I can get both of them out now. Nice. I guess it's eased up a little bit with me using it. So he does have landing gear. In terms of his blaster, I mean, I guess if you want, you can put it up right there. Is there anywhere else better for it to go? I suppose, you know, if you want, you can probably put it there under his wing if you're so inclined, you know. But like, look at this Cyclonus playing with this is perfect. No gaps, no anything. Yeah, honestly, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. In terms of the accuracy, like I struggle to find something not accurate here. I guess if I was to pick out anything, it would be that there's no Decepticon symbols here and here, as they're supposed to be in vehicle mode, though they're not there in robot mode. Besides that, I think everything else is pretty much perfect on this guy. And so here we have Cyclonus and his armada. The funny part is, again, while the mass of the Kingdom Cyclonus is the middle of the road mass, he's the biggest of the three jets. Like, he is definitely the best. I love this Cyclonus. This is a good Transformer. It's an okay Cyclonus. This is, as everybody says, the quintessential Cyclonus. The transformation, like I said, 27, brilliant. This guy is about as perfect as you're gonna get. The hype, for once, is absolutely real. And here we are once again. Here he is, and man, oh man, the hype train is real. Like, he captures the look stupendously well. The argument could be made that the purple is too lavendery and bright, but that depends on the animation. Some episodes were colored darker, some were colored lighter. I do wish that we had the, like, dark purple outline kind of just up under the crest of his head, but I can look past that. Something about the cheeks look weird to me. Even in hand, they still look weird, but, like, this is quintessentially Cyclonus. I would have liked the black on the arms. I don't think I'm going to bother to add it because there's holes here where things peg in. You're probably just asking for it to get scratched, and it's not really worth it to me. Yeah, I mean, I think that this is definitely close enough to animation. In terms of articulation, man, he could do anything, everything. I don't think there's anything else I could ask from the guy. In terms of transformation, this is brilliant. This is engineering that's been well thought out. Somebody had sleepless nights thinking about how can this body work this way. This is a case of the entire robot being used to accomplish the alt mode, and then the entire alt mode being used to accomplish the robot. Yes, the head is a faux head, but you know what? It's a perfect head, and it allows us to have a perfect nose cone. The only gripe I could have at all about this guy, in the least, would really be the difficulty of getting that nose cone out. One might complain about the knees. They're a bit weird, but if you have them sort of about halfway, they look pretty natural, to be honest with you. If you can at all see your way clear to get Cyclonus, here's one thing I could say. Yeah, he's slightly lighter than a traditional Voyager, but not by much. And what he makes up for in terms of height, when you extend the legs fully, and dynamic articulation, kind of makes up for it. The engineering here is indeed very involved. I absolutely adore this guy. I would like to think that you do too. But nevertheless, let me know what you think about Cyclonus. I think he's wonderful. I appreciate you guys coming by, give me some of your extremely valuable time, man. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we offer to you through Teespring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. While you're at it, man, hit the subscribe button. Stick around. Have some fun with us here on the channel. Don't forget that somehow, someway, each and every single day, man, you do make a difference. And I look forward, baby, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premiere, or the old-fashioned way, baby, right here inside the videos.